watching GVTV News.
Thanks, Gloria, and I'm Randy Hansen. In today's World News headlines, Iran talks enter final hours. Tehran reportedly withdraws pledge to enrich overseas. And out of Saudi Arabia, no end to Yemen attack until Houthis surrender. An Arab League agrees on joint military force, and Iraq criticizes Yemen strikes. In 2014 was deadliest year for Palestinians since 1967. France to advance Israeli-Palestinian measure at UN, testing U.S. veto. And Al-Qaeda affiliates helped capture a Syrian city. And Tunisia claims death of museum attack by tens of thousands march. And millions vote in Nigerian election amid violence and amid protests. Indiana governor evades questions on anti-LGBT law. And Schumer to seek Democratic Senate leadership to replace Reid in 2016. And thousands protest Como education agenda in New York City. GVTV News is broadcast on Grass Valley Television, division of Rural Counties Television Network, whose focus is on community involvement. We also air on NCTV. But before these stories, GVTV News would like to thank one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. In today's first world news story, talks over nuclear deal with Iran are in their final stages before Tuesday's self-imposed deadline. Progress has been reported in several issues, including limited centrifuges in Iran's main nuclear facility to around 6,000. But Iran has reportedly backed off a key pledge to enrich its atomic fuels overseas. Iranian officials said it has previously agreed to sending uranium stockpiles to Russia, but now wants to keep the fuel inside the country. The demands could still be overcome by agreements on regular inspections and sufficiently diluting the fuel. Talks continued. Swiss town, some Swiss town, and who knows? Probably nothing's going to happen there. Saudi Arabia says it will continue military strikes on Yemen until Houthi rebels lay down their arms. There's intense fighting in the coastal city of Aden, the stronghold of deposed President Abu Rabu Mansour Hadi. The Yemeni health ministry says 60 people or more have been killed and more than 500 wounded in bombing began last week. On Sunday, Saudi ambassador to the United Nations said the government had discussed military campaign with the White House for months and said, "We have talked about the possible option of using a force with the United States for many months. This option became more serious in the last few weeks, and in the run-up to making the decision of putting together a coalition, we were in constant touch with the White House and other U.S. government agencies about this. Decision to use military force has been made at the moment because of the developments of the happenings in regards to the Houthi potential occupation of Aden." Saudi government says it is not ruled out sending in ground troops if Houthis refuse to surrender. Over the weekend, former President Ali Abdullah Saleh and the Houthi ally ousted in the 2011 Arab Spring called for talks based on resuming political transition. Saleh also proposed that neither he nor Hadi seek presidency, but Hadi's foreign minister dismissed the suggestion as talk of losers. In Saudi-led campaign comes as the Arab League has reportedly agreed to form a united military force. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said the regional army would stage about 40,000 troops to confront the regional challenges, but the force will reportedly be voluntary, and only 2 nations have signed on so far. Iraq has expressed reservations about the ongoing strikes in Yemen. Speaking at the Arab League summit, Iraqi President Fahd Mossam said the operation further complicates the conflicts between all parties, which will lead to more threats in the region. Foreign intervention will not help the Yemeni people. New figures show Israel killed more Palestinians last year than any other since the occupying of the West Bank and Gaza in 1967. United Nations says that Israel is responsible for more than 2,300 Palestinian deaths, 17,000 injuries in 2014. Bulk of the casualties come in Israeli 50-day defending from the attacks from the Arab terrorists in Palestine, sending rockets into Israel. France has announced plans to put forward a UN Security Council measure aimed at encouraging peace talks between Israel and Palestinian Authority. French Foreign Minister Laurent Fabius said the measure would include parameters for negotiations, presumably based on Israel's withdrawal from occupied territories. France has been supporting the resolution of the UN defining the perimeters and helped accompany the necessary negotiations between the two parties. We're not changing our mind. In the coming weeks, France will be part and parcel proposing a resolution at the UN. The Obama administration has signaled it might not block a UN resolution in response to Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's pre-election rejection of the Palestinian statehood and his anti-Arab fear-mongering, is what they say. In the apparent bid to reduce tension within the United States, Netanyahu has announced he will release 3 months of tax revenue to the Palestinian Authority. Israel began withholding funds in response to Palestinian effort to join the International Criminal Court. Palestinian officials had recently warned the denial of their tax revenue threatened economic collapse. As our president still backs Iran over Israel for some reason. Syrian rebel coalition that includes an offshoot of Al-Qaeda has captured the city of Idlib. It is the second major Syrian city to fall the rebels after Raqqa, which is now under control of self-proclaimed Islamic State Muslim terrorists. Rebel coalition Idlib includes the Al-Nusra Front, Al-Qaeda Syrian affiliates. There's a mess over there. Tens of thousands of people marched against violent extremism in Tunis on Sunday following the month's shooting rampage at the Bardo Museum. Rally came one day after the Tunisian government said it killed an Al-Qaeda member it identified as the attack's main suspect. And millions of people have voted in Nigeria's presidential election amidst new violence from Boko Haram. More than a dozen people were killed in several attacks around the country. The race pits President Goodluck Jonathan against former military ruler Muhammadu Buhari. Final results are expected soon. In Indiana, Governor Mike Pence is facing protests over new measures that could sanction anti-LGBT discrimination. So-called religious freedom law prevents state and local governments from imposing a substantial burden on those following their religious beliefs that could allow businesses to refuse services to LGBT customers. On Saturday, thousands of people marched in Indianapolis called for Pence's resignation. Critics have called for a boycott, some including former NBA star Charles Barkley, are calling for the upcoming Final Four college basketball championship to be moved to another state. Well, in response to the criticisms, Pence says he will seek a new measure to clarify the intent of his new law, though he added the LGBT protections are not on my agenda. What is it? 3% of the population? Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid of Nevada has announced he will not seek a re-election next year. Time for celebration. Reid has already endorsed New York Senator Chuck Schumer as his replacement. Choice of Schumer has drawn criticism from progressives over his close ties to Wall Street and hawkish stance on Iran. In New York City, thousands of teachers, parents, and students rallied Saturday to call for Governor Andrew Cuomo to boost funding for public education and curb the expansion of charter schools. Protest comes as New York State lawmakers considered Cuomo's proposal to link more than $1 billion to school funding to a new teacher evaluation system which focuses heavily on standardized testing. Protesters say Cuomo's policies are influenced by his billionaire backers. According to the Hedge Clippers campaign, Cuomo has received nearly $5 million in donations from hedge fund managers, including major backers and founders of charter schools. That's it for the World News today. Now another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, it's us, GVTV News. That's right, it's time for the police blotter, and pictures in the blotter are not from these actual events, but used for visual aid only. These public records are obtained from daily logs issued from Nevada County Law Enforcement. Grass Valley Police Department on Friday, 8:03 a.m., a caller from 1000 block of Sutton Way reported someone camping outside a business in a big motorhome. In 10:21 a.m., a woman from 1000 block of Sutton Way reported her neighbor was taking pictures of her while she was inside her parked car. In 10:49 a.m., a man from 200 block of North Church Street reported his roommates moved his stuff out and new roommates in while he was in jail. In 12:19 p.m., a caller from 100 block of Park Avenue reported drugs and a knife on a school campus. In 2:36 p.m., a caller from 500 block of Sutton Way reported a mother breastfeeding in a car. In 3:50 p.m., a caller from 100 block of Bank Street reported 4 skaters in their parking lot. 4:16 p.m., caller from 200 block of Ocean Avenue reported they had a pink and yellow water coming out of their faucets. Yummy. 5:17 p.m., a man from 800 block of East Main Street reported he was confronted and assaulted by a boyfriend of a girl he had sexual relationship with. 6:10 p.m., a caller from 200 block of Sierra College Drive reported a male student made a death threat against a female student's boyfriend. And 7:37 p.m., a caller from 800 block of Sutton Way said their wallet was stolen from a cart. At 9:20 p.m., a caller from 1300 block of East Main Street reported a man passed out behind the wheel of a running vehicle. And Nevada County Sheriff's Office on Friday. 9:42 a.m., a woman from 10,000 block of Bar Hill Road reported neighbor has removed all her garage sale signs and is harassing people arriving on her property. 10:16 a.m., a caller from 15,000 block of Little Valley Road reported he was going to do a home visit to drop off medication and was threatened with a knife. 11:28 a.m., a man from 19,000 block of Perimeter Road reported a new guy just showed up and looked like he wanted to kill him. Caller stated he was going to hide. 11:55 a.m., a woman from 12,000 block of Long Valley Road reported her husband fled on foot, extremely upset about not being able to drive. And 12:16 p.m., caller from 13,000 block of Highway 49 reported possible drugs found in a motel room. And 12:33 p.m., the caller from 900 block of Allison Ranch Road reported transient drug activity in the area. How could you tell? 12:55 p.m., a man from 19,000 block of Perimeter Road reported he wanted to go to a deputy to go target shooting with him and is worried he will die of boredom. At 1:08 p.m., a caller from 22,000 block of Purdon Road reported a man was checked out of a care home against doctor's advice. At 1:55 p.m., a man from 18,000 block of Jayhawk Drive reported possible counterfeit money in his new residence. At 3:44 p.m., a woman from 12,000 block of Lake Wildwood Drive reported finding a firearm in her yard and requested it to be picked up. And 6:09 p.m., a man from 16,000 block of Oscar Drive reported his son's friend attempted to run him over with a motorcycle. And Saturday, 2:22 a.m., a woman from 10,000 block of Alta Street reported she went to bed. There was a vehicle shining its light into her window, and the car was still there, and with its lights still on when she woke up. At 9:44 a.m., a caller from 11,000 block of Ferry Ring Mushroom Court reported a subject driving on a private roadway trying to run over a Canadian goose. It's not geese. 11:55 a.m., a woman from 12,000 block of Burma Road reported a subject walking near her property left a bag with mail from her business, binoculars, sunscreen, and a map reading glasses. At 12:14 p.m., a woman at the corner of Magnolia Road and Oak Shade Court reported rocks being thrown at her car as she was driving. At 2:51 p.m., a woman from 10,000 block of Rough and Ready Highway reported her son's bike was stolen. At 5:30 p.m., a caller from the corner of Coyote Street and Bloomfield Graniteville Road reported the subject camping on the side of the road, defecating in the bushes. 3:33 p.m., a male caller from 18,000 block of Fay Ridge Court reported he got ran over by his mom. 3:52 p.m., a man from 17,000 block of Greenhorn Road reported he was covered in blood and 2 shots were fired by someone on a motorcycle, but he was not hit. At 9:51 p.m., a caller from corner of Rough and Ready Highway and Ridge Road reported a man walking up the road with a burning piece of paper. At 11:28 p.m., a caller from corner of Spencerville Road and Penn Valley Drive reported loud Mexican polka music. Always hear that around. It's nice to listen to. Sunday, 6:55 a.m., a woman from corner of LaBar, Pines Drive and Sweet Haven Court reported that her friend with one arm grabbed her around the neck to keep her in their rental car. Looks like the guy from The Fugitive, doesn't he? That's it for the blotter today. Now, another thanks to one of our underwriters who supports your only visual video news media in Nevada County. That's right, that's us, GVTV News. In today's local news headlines, Nevada County jail time can offer second chances. A Nevada City man allegedly pepper sprayed breaks patrol car window. In our first story, under the circumstances, Joe Jones could be one of the best prepared men for fatherhood in Nevada County. With his new baby, his second, born this month, Jones, not his real name, became one of the first Nevada County jail inmates to pass a new high school equivalency exam just before he was released from Wayne Brown Correctional Facility. Hi guys. A week or so prior to New Brown's arrival. For the just released jail inmate seeking a fresh start and welcoming a new family member, passing the exam was the key to his future, said Jones. Teacher Julie Coffin said he was super motivated. He really wanted to finish the test and get out and to be done with the past. For Jones, 40, who dropped out of high school his senior year and who was working as a contractor since, passing the HISET will allow him to finally get a contractor's license. The new high school equivalency certificate will also allow him to apply for financial aid to attend Sierra College, later apply for electrical engineering program at Sacramento State. The doors are opening for me, Jones said, adding that his relationship with his wife has also improved by taking responsibility for my past bad decisions and then taking the exam. It has allowed us a fresh start and a new beginning, especially with the baby coming. HISET, a series of 5 subject-specific pencil and paper multiple choice tests of 2 hours each, is a new option for high school equivalency instead of a 2014 GED General Education Diploma, which is computer-based. Inmates at Wayne Brown cannot do the 2014 GED because they do not have access to the internet, although they do use computers in their classroom inside the jail, located next to the county's Root Center building in Nevada City. Both the new 2014 GED and the HISET are evolving to incorporate the Common Core, said Valerie Dombrowski, another teacher at Wayne Brown. They're getting more rigorous in the olden days than in the olden days. Coffin of Nevada City and Dombrowski are employees of the Nevada Union Joint High School District, even though they are working inside the Nevada County-run facility, and their adult education program was in limbo as recently as a month ago. Seeing that they're optimistic that Governor Jerry Brown, on the new budget, will continue financing adult education in the state. They acknowledge that there is no guarantee, and the part-time teachers admit that they have had a verbal equivalence of a pink slip warning that they would get if they were full-time, but the newest report on the governor's proposal budget showed adult education, including HiSET 2014 GED, high school diplomas, and post-secondary certificate courses will remain intact for at least one more year. The good news is it will stay within the high school district for another year, Dombrowski said. Then after that, maybe we would be under the AB 86 consortium, a local adult education stakeholders. Despite the changes in the testing, the shakeup around financing and the general uncertainty about the adult education and the jail education program in particular, Coffin and Dombrowski said they love their jobs and that the adult offenders seem to appreciate the opportunities to learn while serving their time. It's all about second chances, Dombrowski said. The teachers say attendance at class is optional, meaning that the inmates who attend are there because they want to be there. So much about their lives when they come to jail, and their incarceration is about their past and this horrible mistake that they have made, and that rules their lives, Coffin said. But when they come to the classroom, it's about their futures. They say, when I leave here, if I get my GED or diploma, I definitely will have accomplished something, she said. They're thinking about a job, setting an example for kids, and even going on to college. With the new HiSET, inmates may begin the process in jail and finish on the outside. The subject includes math, social studies, reading, writing, and science. We had one student do 0 to 200 credits in almost 2 years. He got his high school diploma, she said. He would write letters to his son about the advanced algebra he was studying, encouraging his son to stay with it. She added that this year, Wayne Brown will graduate 2 inmates who have earned high school diplomas, a much more rigorous course of study than the HiSET or GED high school equivalency exams. About 40 to 45 inmates, including federal and state prisoners, as well as local offenders, out of the approximate total of 225 inmate jail population, are involved in the education program. Classes are given in special rooms and are part of the locked pods that also include the sleeping rooms and day rooms. Wayne Brown also has an English as a second language teacher, so non-English speaking offenders may learn English while in jail. Can you believe that? People speaking English in jail, that's good. And then begin studies for high school equivalency exams. We had 2 federal inmates, brothers, who were here for 5 years, Dombrowski said. Neither spoke English, but then by the time they left, both learned English and both passed the GED in English. Chances to feed inmates' minds and stimulate previously buried curiosity appears to quell any threats of violence in the classrooms, teachers said. Coffin, who has been at Wayne Brown for 9 years, said she had had 2 incidents when there were some problems with an offender who became upset and who had to be removed. Just like they can choose to be there, we can choose not to call them back, she added. On Wednesday, during a free rights session, both teachers asked their students to put down their thoughts on their education at Wayne Brown. Almost 24 did so. The most important thing is that I'm working towards getting my general education diploma, said one person. Some of the other wonderful benefits that it is a much more positive environment than the day room. It challenges my mind as I'm brushing up on my math and writing skills, the person said. I am certain that it will likely enable me to get a better job as well as a higher paying job when I'm out in the normal world. For Jones, meanwhile, who was incarcerated for 2.5 months on a misdemeanor drug charge, his dedication helped to motivate others to also pursue their high school equivalency. There are good people in the world, Jones said. Just because someone makes some bad decision doesn't mean they're not a good person. A Nevada City man was arrested after reportedly locking his mother out of their house, resisting arrest, and breaking the window of a patrol car. That's a big no-no. Nevada City police officers were dispatched to 800 block of Zion Street about 2:40 p.m. Wednesday by a female victim. She said her son had taken her cell phone, forced her outside, said Sergeant Chad Ellis. The suspect, identified as Michael David Duncan, 23, refused to come out of his bedroom, so officers resorted to forced entry. He got into a fighting stance. Officers reportedly pepper sprayed Duncan, and took him into custody, placing him in the back of their patrol car. They then treated him by fleshing his eyes and exposing areas with water. But while one of the officers was inside the residence talking to Duncan's mother, the suspect kicked out the rear window. He was booked into county jail on suspicion of vandalism, resisting arrest, damage to a cell phone, battery, and petty theft. He was held in lieu of an $18,500 bail. And that's it today. Talk to you Wednesday.
Sunshine, she's here.